The cultural archetype of high intelligence usually looks like effortless strategy, a person in a lab coat who speaks in perfectly formed sentences and never second-guesses a decision. We imagine someone who walks into a room radiating absolute, quiet confidence. The clinical reality for the top fraction of a percent of cognitive scores looks very different. These individuals are frequently awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling and agonizing over an awkward comment they made at a party in 2009. Up close, their psychology is remarkably chaotic. High IQ individuals spend an embarrassing amount of time convinced they are frauds. They lose their keys on a daily basis, and they often get caught talking to themselves in grocery store parking lots. High intelligence is often viewed through the lens of a superpower, yet running that complex analytical machinery exacts a heavy, exhaustive neurological toll on the person carrying it. To understand these strange daily habits, we have to look past the IQ score and evaluate intelligence as a series of physical limitations on cognitive bandwidth. Research on self-assessment shows a consistent inverse relationship between ability and confidence. Lower performers tend to overestimate their abilities, while high performers significantly underestimate their standing. Deep knowledge exposes vast, hidden complexities, while a superficial grasp produces unearned confidence. Deep understanding reveals massive gaps, forcing them to see their shortcomings. This structural awareness creates permanent anxiety. High IQ individuals build elaborate logical cases against themselves, convinced everyone has overestimated their value. This hardware also functions as a hyper-fast threat detection machine. The capacity for complex analytical modeling used in work also powers the brain's predictive radar. Because they can project so many steps ahead, their minds run unsanctioned disaster simulations. They generate worst-case scenarios at remarkable speeds, leading to chronic rumination. Higher intelligence creates a faster, more thorough simulation engine, capable of generating terrifying scenarios that a less active mind would never even consider. This processing power creates a cognitive paradox. A person effortlessly models a 15-step abstract math problem, yet routinely forget if they turned off the kitchen stove. This is a matter of cognitive prioritization. When a mind is heavily invested in complex, abstract thought, it allocates nearly all available resources to that central gear. This leaves zero attention for low-stakes, repetitive information, like where a pair of keys ended up. This bandwidth issue also dictates how they experience the physical environment. The tendency to process analytical complexity deeply also forces the brain to process sensory input deeply. High cognitive ability correlates with heightened sensory processing sensitivity. Heightened sensory processing sensitivity is a neurological trait where the brain receives and processes environmental stimuli more strongly than average. For these individuals, the harsh lighting in a grocery store or the overlapping sounds of a restaurant register as intrusive data rather than background noise. Misplacing keys and being overwhelmed by a loud environment are symptoms of the same mechanical reality, a nervous system operating at maximum capacity, unable to filter out the mundane. To manage this load, the high IQ brain employs unusual tools, such as private speech. Private speech is the technical term for talking out loud to oneself, and it serves as a vital mechanism for cognitive self-regulation. Saying a thought out loud helps the brain process heavy data streams that are too complex to be handled by silent thought alone. Their sleep cycles are similarly adapted. Research indicates that higher measured intelligence correlates with the ability to override natural circadian rhythms, leading these individuals to naturally go to bed and wake up much later. Staying up late is a subconscious mechanism to secure quiet, low-stimulation hours for deep thought. While this results in chronic sleep deprivation and an appearance of laziness, it is a necessary adaptation for high-level cognitive work. This intensity even shows up in their language. Studies show that a broad vocabulary of taboo words often indicates high verbal intelligence. These words function as precise tools for articulating intense emotional states when standard language feels inadequate. Muttering in the car, staying up until dawn, and using sharp language act as an improvised cooling system, a series of mechanical adaptations designed to keep overclocked hardware from melting down. Looking at the exhausted individual from the opening through this lens reveals a mechanical reality rather than a character flaw. High intelligence is a massive neurological trade-off. It provides remarkable analytical power, but it requires the individual to navigate a loud, demanding world using a nervous system not built for those daily specs. If you recognize yourself in this profile, you have likely spent your life being told you have every advantage, while privately wondering why daily life feels so incredibly hard. Having a high IQ does not guarantee success or cure suffering. However, understanding the hidden taxes of your own mind is the first step to finally mastering it.